Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have with us Rick Elmore, who's the founder and CEO of Simply Noted. Rick, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me on the show, Mike. It's great to be here.
You're welcome. I am excited to learn from you and find out what Simply Noted is. I think that our minds tend to gravitate things that are concise and simple. So I love Simply Noted, the name. But get us started with your story. What's your background and how did you get into this type of industry that you're in currently?
Yeah, it's a great question. So my background's in athletics. I played Division I football and then was lucky enough to be drafted into the NFL in 2011. Got to live out my childhood dream, playing the NFL for 3 years. Had the typical NFL career as a journeyman, kind of bounced around from team to team, but eventually had to hang up the cleats and shoulder pads. Made that transition to the business world in 2014, and did basically what a lot of my peers were doing after sports and got into corporate medical device sales or just corporate sales. Had a lot of success in the business world or the corporate world, basically just transferred everything that made me successful as an athlete. The hard work, passion, desire, perseverance, strength, grit, get knocked down 7 times, get up 8. Was rookie of the year my first year. The next 5 years in my corporate sales job, I was either top 1% or top 5 sales rep in the company. It really just came down to just all the effort I put into it. I was willing to outwork everybody. But in 2017, I kind of had an itch that I couldn't scratch, and I went back and did my MBA as a full-time evening class. And about a year into my program, I had a professor in a marketing class that was going over all the success rates in marketing. And this is what's really important for anybody listening to this message is that what you're looking for is going to come to you when you least expect it. You just got to keep looking, and that's what I was doing. In my mid 20s, I was just looking for what my purpose was, where my place in the business world was. I was just doing new things, and luckily, when I was in my MBA in this marketing class, about at the end of a 3-hour long lecture, my marketing professor just said something that changed the direction of my life, and I couldn't be more thankful for it. He was going over all the success rates in marketing. Everything was super nominal, all the traditional marketing things that we know, email, direct mail, digital ads, SEO, all that stuff. He ends this lecture kind of jokingly saying, hey guys, what works better now, if not better than ever, is a good old-fashioned handwritten note. Mailboxes are empty. They get opened 99.2% of the time. They're rare. No one does it anymore. It makes you stand out. And he just kept talking about how great handwritten notes were. And at the time I had 400 clients. I was like, man, that's a great point. If I can get in front of my client 99% of the time, that's going to make me more successful. But I have 400 clients. How am I going to do this efficiently? And fast forward, from there, we got started kind of dabbling around with some technologies. We've built a company that makes it really easy for companies to scale and automate sending genuine, personalized, pen-written notes. These aren't printed. They're really pen-written. We have 400,000 users on our platform every single month. We have 6 pending patents on the robot technology that we've spent nearly $1 million building. We have 11 full-time employees.
You're all in, man.
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey to say the least.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit about that, because I think if we could go back in time to sit in that marketing class and talk a little bit more about why that works, why handwritten notes work more than better than ever, is because we're busy. We're inundated with marketing messages, and the more cool whiz bang techie stuff that we get exposed to, the more each person's attention is drawn away from anything that is put in front of them. So we've got instant messages and text messages and emails and chat bots, all of this stuff. But yeah, when I go out to my mailbox, you get your bills and you get a few junk mail. But if you've got a larger, different sized envelope and you open it up and it's a handwritten note, that stands out. And I think in marketing, if you were to say define marketing in one sentence, it's how to stand out and get noticed.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's about everybody's inundated, like you said. We live in a digital world. We're all bombarded, daily with emails. The average office worker gets like 150 emails a day. I wake up in the morning and I immediately delete 60 or 70 emails before 7 o'clock. I mean, it's an absolute nightmare. Throw in TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all push notifications from your apps. I mean, I want to take my phone before I even get to work, before I even get to the office, and just throw it out the door or out the window, because it's just such an annoyance. It's literally a distraction. So, like you said, marketing is about engaging somebody, connecting with somebody, standing out, being remembered, and there's just no better way. I mean, the best way in my opinion, is to sit down with someone face to face and build that relationship. But obviously we can't do that scaled. So I think the best next way to do it is to put something in writing, because what you're doing is you're showing that person that you're giving them, 5 minutes of your time. And that to them is incredibly valuable.
And that brings up an aspect that I think that this mode of communication lends itself nicely to versus technology. Now, guess what? I don't do paper. I'm all digital. I'm techie. I do automation. Love, love, love it. But at the end of the day, we have to recognize the fact that sitting behind the computer, clicking like on a social media or sending a text or all these things, that's easy. That's hiding behind the computer. But let's talk about relationships. So relationship building, relationship marketing, if you want to think of it like that, if you want to stand out, it's getting to know someone on that personal level. And maybe that handwritten note is going to open up a door to build that relationship a little bit better than the bot that sent them a Facebook message.
Absolutely. So business, we all know it's all about relationships, even though we're entering the AI world and we were just in the digital revolution for the last 20, 25 years, since the dawn of the internet. Relationships will always be a part of business. And some really interesting stats. This was actually some studies that American Express ran. So, they have, millions of dollars to throw into these studies, but they found out that relationships with customers, or customers who feel appreciated, are 5 times more likely to make repeat purchases. So just think about the lifetime value of your clients. If you have better relationships with your clients, you're obviously going to get more repeat business. They're 5 times more likely to forgive a mistake. Everyone's human. We all make mistakes. Like, it's just a part of the process. There's a lot of growing pains, but if you have a really good relationship with your client, they're going to be more willing to forgive you and stick with you. And especially today, there's a competitor or a choice for every business. So it's really important to make those clients, feel, like you appreciate them, so they're loyal to you. Also, customers who feel appreciated are 4 times more likely to make a referral. I don't know about you, but thinking a referral is a lot more exciting than paying all the advertising costs that you have to do for SEO, ads to, get like an organic, lead. So I would much rather get referrals. Referrals are much more likely to be better clients. And then also upselling your current clients. If you have great relations with your clients, they're more likely to try a new offering. So really, at the heart of business, successful businesses get their clients, they connect with their clients, they build great relationships with their clients, their clients are buying into their brand. And handwritten notes are a really great way to, attack all those categories with just one simple, effective tool.
And while we're talking statistics, there's one that I'm familiar with, and it might be outdated by now, but probably the concept remains the same, which is it costs 5 to 7 times more money to get a new client than to retain a current client.
Absolutely.
So maybe creating that deeper relationship with handwritten notes to retain your current customers, current clients, just puts a little bit of a asterisk or a gold star by your name in their mind to go, all right, you know what? Everyone else sent me that automated whatever. And now, hey, this handwritten note came. So I think that's another big thing that people need to realize is you're out there, foraging for new clients and you're ignoring your current ones. You might be losing them. It's kind of like having a hole in the bucket.
Yep. Yeah, and as an old time sales rep, leaky bucket syndrome, that's the worst way to build your business. If you're just constantly adding new business to your your portfolio, but you're losing old clients, you're just basically running in circles. So you got to find that fine line about trying to keep your current business happy, your current clients happy, while going out there and growing your new business as well.
Now, if I remember correctly, do you know the name Joe Girard?
It sounds familiar. I'm sure I'll know
So
once you.
you can Google this to verify, but I think he holds a Guinness Book of World Records for selling the most amount of cars in a single day or a month or whatnot. And he was an old time car salesman. And one of the techniques that he used was he would literally sit down and grab a pen and a piece of paper and write handwritten notes to his current customers and his prospects. And that's the thing that and this was way back in the day. So way before emails and text and all that. But talk a little bit now about what you have developed, because it sounds good. You've sold us on handwritten notes, but oh my word, I go right from one Outlook mini to the next in the Zoom and a meet. I don't have time to sit down and write notes.
Yeah, so what Simply Noted is, we're an engagement platform, or we're a handwritten notes platform. We help our clients connect with their clients in a more personal way. The way that we do that is through automating real, genuine, personalized handwritten notes. You can either go to our web app, simplynoted.com. You can send just one card at a time, 10 cards at a time, 1,000, 10,000. All of them are custom, personalized, have their name. They're written in pen. We don't put our logos on it. We put a real forever stamp on it. We make it look like you sat down from your desk and sent a handwritten note. If we're doing our job, which I think we do a really good job, your clients will never know that you used a service. We're the only company in the world that's truly built their own handwriting robot. There are some other players in this space. But I like to believe that we are the best. We put the most time, effort, research, and development into our handwriting robots. Some of our competitors use pen plotters or, some older technologies that have been around since the 80s. But we've built our own handwriting robots, our own handwriting software, our own handwriting engine. And the best way to see this is either request a sample kit from our website. You just go to simplynoted.com, top right-hand corner, you can request a sample, or just go to the video section. We have videos of all of our robots. There's nothing like this in the world. I really do think, we're 5 to 10 years ahead of anybody in this space when it comes to technology. There's just no better technology out there that can produce the type of products that Simply Noted can produce at scale.
So I think that's a big piece, is automation technology, using that to accomplish this. But I think a lot of people will go, come on, I get these things all the time in my mailbox saying, come to this dinner seminar or whatever the case is. And it's like, it looks like it's signature type handwriting font, but you can just tell that it's not. So you're saying that you guys have cracked the nut, you figured it out.
Well, absolutely. So if you see those like Renewal by Anderson, like marketing campaigns, what they'll do is they'll write a handwritten note, then they'll just like laser print it, make it look like it was handwritten. But then there's also some other of our competitors, they use those pen plotters, but they're just so old, and the plugins that they use to create the handwriting just aren't as advanced as our handwriting engines. Like we use like custom built algorithms that actually manipulate and stretch and rotate and add real genuine handwriting nuances as it writes to the handwriting styles. So if you've seen some of those really like old auto pen handwritten notes, like I guess you would see that, but the only way to really tell the difference is to request a handwriting sample kit. So when you see it,
then
we use weighted pens, we use downward writing pressures, like our pen actually digs into the paper so you can actually see the indentation, the ink smears. We actually created our own pen 2 years ago. We worked with an engineering company here in Gilbert, Arizona, but then we manufacture them in China. Our pens hold 300% more ink, so they last longer. Plus, they're wetter, have more viscosity, so the ink smears more than a typical pen, so it's more realistic. So, we've overthought everything and over-engineered everything to help our clients, automate or send just a simple $2 or $3 handwritten note. It's just nuts, the amount of technology that's gone into this.
So that's awesome. And I think that that's a great thing, is like, okay, sounds good, but let's test it out for ourselves. So get that pack. From a marketing standpoint, and I know that you would agree with this with automation. You want, when someone downloads your case study or white paper, you want to have an email follow-up series. Do you have any way that when you create a handwritten note follow-up series for so that once a month your clients are getting something from you like that?
So yes, our Zapier, we're really into Zapier. Zapier solves a lot of problems. You can set up campaigns to where every 30 days you automate sending a handwritten notes. We like doing that through Zapier just because it's a little bit more flexible. When it comes to marketing, there's really cool ways to track this with QR codes or call rail or, phone tracing numbers. So when people actually interact, with the call tracing or QR code, you can set up automations based off their activities there. You can send them to landing pages and fill forms. I mean, there's a bunch of ways, really it's sitting down talking about, and this is what we do with each of our clients. They bring us their ideas, like, hey, can you do this? And we help them solve it and set up the workflow to accomplish what they want to get done.
That's, I think, is the icing on the cake, because it's all the conceptual research methodology makes sense. Now it's like, okay, I don't have time to do it. I want to automate it, but you've cracked the nut to figure out how it looks as close to human as possible with all of the indentation and the, downward strokes. That's amazing. And then, we're not just a place that just would help you send one. We can put it together in an overall campaign, talk about how to help you get more clients. And when you start talking about Zapier and QR codes and tracking phone numbers, that's a full-on marketing campaign. So that's really smart integrations that you guys have.
Yeah, handwritten notes, I don't say it's the end all be all to your business. It's just another tool in your belt. I'm a business owner at Simply Noted. I use every tool possible. We use email, we use cold calling, we use ads, SEO, social. I mean, we use everything, but handwritten notes are just another tool that you need to have in your tool belt. It's a great way to attract new clients just because the open rate's so high. It makes you stand out. You're building trust with them right away. And also retain current clients, building on that relationship, telling them thank you. I mean, we try to tell our clients, every business should at least thank their clients once a year. If it's during the holidays, or at least, at the beginning of the year, try to get ahead of them, make sure they're thinking of you when they're going to buy, right? So, attract, high open rate, build trust, connect with them personally, and then retain. It's all about attract and retain. And the handwritten notes are a great way to do those two things together. We have a lot of technologies that help you make that efficient.
I love it. Well, Rick, if someone is interested in finding out how this could benefit their business and getting a sample pack, what's the best way that they can learn more and reach out and connect with you?
Yeah, so just go to simplynoted.com. It's just how it's spelled: S as in Sam, I M as in Mary, PLY noted.com. And in the top right-hand corner of the screen on the homepage, you'll see request a sample. And we do a really good job. We send about $20 per sample kit because we want to make sure that what we send you is answering all your questions and you're just seeing the quality of our technology. And when you get it, you're going to smile, you're going to laugh, and you're like, no way was this written by a robot. And then you're going to call us with your ideas. And that's what happens. People call us, a week later, 2 months later. I'm like, hey, I got this. This is great. Can you do this? Awesome. Let's set it up.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a real pleasure talking with you.
I appreciate you having me on today, Mike. Thank you.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.